Hello and welcome to everyone in the virtual classroom to learn fund flow statement. In the ninth video lecture of this topic, let us take a big question which covers so many points. Have a look on the balance sheet. Data has been given as usual for a period of 2 years, 17 and then afterwards 18. Then additional information. 6 points have been given for this question number 7. I would like to draw your attention for some of the points of this question. Point number 1 is related with RPS redemption. You know the lengthy process that you have to complete for that process of RPS redemption. Second point is related with leasehold property. This type of point has came for the first time. Over here it requires a detailed calculation. We will say it. See the third point. Balance of creditors on 31st March 2018 includes rupees 20,000 of unpaid dividend. What does it mean? Whatever the balance of creditors that has been given for the year 2018, it includes rupees 20,000 of unpaid dividend. See, creditors. Last year 2,50,000, current year 2,60,000. This balance 2,60,000 includes an amount of unpaid dividend of rupees 20,000. So before you prepare your working capital schedule, you have to be careful about this type of items. And that is why number of times I told you that before you start your working capital schedule, read question completely right from balance sheet to additional information. Sometimes a point like this affects your working capital schedule also. So let us discuss this point of unpaid dividend. The point is that this unpaid dividend, what does it mean? What is the meaning? You know, balance sheet liability side, last item is proposed dividend. Last year 1,10,000, current year 1 lakh. In our very first practical question, in video lecture number 3, I had explained the proposed dividend in detail with provisions of Companies Act. So you know it very well, the meaning of proposed dividend and provisions of Companies Act. And in that context, मैंने आपको ये भी कहा था, the two lines, last year's proposed dividend would have been paid in the current year and the current year's proposed dividend will be paid in the next year. ये कहे तो भी करना है, ये ना कहे तो भी करना है. Board of Directors can only propose the final proposed dividend. It cannot make the payment until and unless it receives the consents from the shareholders. And this consents from the shareholders can be possible only in the annual general meeting, which happens in the next year, July, August, September of the next year. So last year's proposed dividend proposed on 31st March 17, afterwards preparation of accounts, auditing, audit process, etc. And then in the month of July, August, September 17, AGM would have happened, and in that AGM, consent would have been received by the company and this payment 1,10,000 proposed dividend of the last year obviously would have been paid in the current year, that is 2018. And the current year's proposed dividend 1 lakh. Just it is a proposal. As I told you, it cannot be paid until and unless company receives the consents of the shareholders. For year 17-18, after audit, AGM normally happens in the month of July, August, September 18. That is the next year 18-19. तो वो जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर 18 में एजीएम मिलेगी, ये 1 लाख के लिए कंसेंट मिलेगी, and then afterwards company can make the payment of this rupees 1 lakh proposal of the current year, but the payment would be paid in August September 18 means next year. And that is why I told you these two lines. Last year's proposed dividend would have been paid in the current year and the current year's proposed dividend will be paid in the next year. ये कहे तो भी करना है, ये ना कहे तो भी करना है, because it is related with the procedure laid down in the Companies Act. Now think about this 20,000 unpaid amount. Dividend की ये unpaid amount, ये किसके साथ जुड़ी हुई होगी? This 1 lakh cannot be paid in the current year. So obviously this unpaid amount of rupees 20,000 must have been related, should have been related with this last year's proposed dividend 1,10,000, because only the last year's proposed dividend can be paid in the current year. So remaining amount unpaid dividend 20,000, if you deduct from this 1,10,000, only 90,000 rupees would have been paid in the current year. Now, how this type of unpaid dividend happens? Which are the reasons responsible for this type of event? Let me explain you some reasons. Number one, shareholders may have expired, and who can become the legal heirs of that deceased shareholder? That process might be going on, and till that process becomes clear that who can become the legal heirs, till then company cannot make the payment, and that is why the amount of that dividend will remain in the form of unpaid dividend. तो जब तक ये क्लियर नहीं होगा कि who can become the legal heirs of the deceased shareholder, तब तक कंपनी पेमेंट नहीं करेगी और ये अमाउंट अनपेड डिविडेंड अकाउंट में बनी रहती है. Likewise, second probable reason, shareholder may have shifted from one city, one state to another city, another state. And in that situation, if he has not informed the company regarding the change of address, regarding the change of bank account details, obviously company would not be able to make the payment of dividend to that shareholder. So these are some of the reasons. That is why company may not be able to make the payment of dividend, which would be called as unpaid dividend. Now this type of issues may take a longer period to settle. जब तक ये इश्यू सॉर्टेड आउट नहीं होंगे, सॉल्व नहीं होंगे, तब तक ये अमाउंट अनपेड डिविडेंड अकाउंट में बनी रहेगी. एंड whenever the issue gets resolved, company would be making the payment to those shareholders, and in that situation unpaid dividend account would be debited to bank account credited for the payment whenever it happens in the future. So out of this closing balance of 2,60,000, we have to deduct rupees 20,000, the amount of unpaid dividend which has been included in this total balance of creditors rupees 2,60,000, because that 20,000 cannot be said, cannot be considered as creditors. It is the amount of unpaid dividend, and it should be lying in that account, namely unpaid dividend, and only 2,40,000 should be considered as a balance of creditors. for 2018, that is 31st March 2018. तो ये 20,000 लास्ट ईयर के प्रपोज डिविडेंड के साथ जुड़ी हुई अमाउंट है. जब हम इनकी डिस्कशन करेंगे लास्ट में, आई विल एक्सप्लेन द जर्नल एंट्रीज as well as the payment of this proposed dividend at that point in time. So in the context of our working capital schedule, we need to make a little bit adjustment over here. 2,60,000 minus 20,000 for unpaid dividend. That gives the balance of creditors for 31st March 18, 2,40,000. Let us start the preparation of working capital schedule. Do verify the asset side for the components of current assets. Debtors, stock, cash and bank, 3 items of current assets. On the liability side, only one item is there, that is creditors. Let us prepare the working capital schedule and report these 4 items. Have a look. Current assets, debtors, stock, cash and bank balance. You know how to report the relationship between current assets and working capital. It's a positive relationship. Current liabilities, only one item, creditors. As I explained you, 2,60,000. The balance of the current years minus 20,000 unpaid dividend. That will remain under the title of unpaid dividend as it is till the issue related with the shareholders doesn't get settled. तब तक ये अमाउंट अनपेड डिविडेंड के टाइटल के नीचे रहेगी. So balance of creditors last year 2,50,000, current year 2,40,000. How we got it? 2,60,000 minus 20,000 of unpaid dividend amount, that gives 2,40,000. Decrease is in current liabilities. Increase is the working capital. You know, negative relationship between CL and working capital. Total of B, working capital A minus B, and the final answer, increase is in working capital 3,87,000. That can be confirmed over here also. All the amounts were there on the increases column only, total of which was 3,87,000. Put it on the decreases side, that gives a balancing figure of rupees 3,87,000, which indicates increases of working capital. Let us report this final answer of working capital schedule in our fund flow statement. Come on the application side. Increases in working capital 3,87,000. First reporting in FFS. So this was a new point. This was a good point of this question. Unpaid dividend. I hope it would be very clear in your mind. After working capital schedule, let us start the reading of additional information. First point. Company has redeemed preference share capital at 10% premium after complying with provisions of Companies Act. You know, RPS. Number of times we calculated this type of calculation. Over here, clue has not been given that how company has redeemed the preference share capital, means which options company has applied for the redemption. Let us take a balance sheet reading for preference share capital. 10% redeemable preference shares of rupees 10 each, rupees 8 paid up. So it is a partly paid up share capital. And only fully paid up shares can be redeemed, means partly paid up shares cannot be redeemed. And even though point number 1 tells us that company has redeemed preference share capital at 10% premium after complying with provisions of Companies Act. After complying with provisions of Companies Act. Provisions of Companies Act are very clear. Only fully paid up shares can be redeemed by the company, means partly paid up shares cannot be redeemed. So hidden point is that company would have demanded a call of rupees 2 on this partly paid up share capital once it gets converted into fully paid up from rupees 8 to 10. Then afterwards company would have redeemed this preference share capital because opening balance 2 lakh versus closing balance nil. So entire capital has been redeemed. It means all the shareholders would have paid the call amount, and that is why there is no closing balance appearing at the end of the year 31st March 18. So here also it is a good point. Partly paid up, then call of rupees 2, conversion into fully paid up, and then only the process of redemption can start. Let us prepare a working note. Let us verify the working note for the purpose of this call amount. Have a look. Working note number 1, redemption of preference share capital. As I told you, preference shares are partly paid up. So let us demand a call first. Number of preference shares are 2 lakh. How we got it? And the balance it, number of preference shares on the base of this amount rupees 2 lakh divided by paid up amount rupees 8 per share paid up given in the balance sheet. So 31st March 17 there was a preference share capital given in the balance sheet 2 lakh rupees divided by rupees 8 paid up per share. That gives 25,000 shares. On this 25,000 shares, company would have demanded a call money of rupees 2, rupees 50,000 in the form of call money would have been received by the company first. Now, preference share capital has become fully paid up preference share, and that is why process of RPS redemption can be started. What is the total amount required for this redemption? Once the company has received the call money, it became the fully paid up preference share capital. And now, it can be redeemed, and it has been redeemed by the company. Total amount required 25,000 shares of rupees 10 paid up. That gives 2,50,000. This redemption has been made with 10% redemption premium. So redemption premium at the rate of 10%, 10% of 2,50,000 is 25,000. That gives 2,75,000 total amount required for this redemption of RPS. Let us prepare a chart for the planning of redemption as we did it in our previous questions also. Have a look. Planning of redemption. Total amount required as we discussed in the previous slide, 2,75,000. Having two components, one is nominal amount of RPS 2,50,000, another is redemption premium on RPS 25,000. As far as the nominal amount is concerned, which option company has applied for the nominal amount of redemption? As I told you, In additional information, point number 1, there is no clue given over there. Only it has been said that company has redeemed the preference shares capital at 10% premium after complying with provisions of Companies Act. So over here no clue has been given. But as per our calculation, we do know that we need 2,50,000 for the nominal amount of redemption. So let us verify. Liability side, first item, equity share capital, 8 lakh balance of last year, 10 lakh balance of current year. It means during the year, an additional issue has been made for an amount of rupees 2 lakh. So from this two balance it becomes very clear. A further issue has been made. But we need 2,50,000 for the nominal amount of redemption. And over here, it is only 2 lakh that has been received from the proceeds of this fresh issue. What about the remaining amount of 50,000? Let me draw your attention on this balance of capital redemption reserve. Opening balance nil. Closing balance 50,000. What does it mean? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि ये CRR कंपनी ने इस साल में क्रिएट किया है जनरल रिजर्व या तो डायरेक्टली प्रॉफिट में से. So by creating 50,000 in the form of CRR and fresh issue of rupees 2 lakh, by this way company got the required amount of rupees 2 lakh 50,000 which was required for the nominal amount of redemption. So let us verify the chart once again and see the planning. This is the chart. Nominal amount of RPS 2,50,000 from GR 50,000 created CRR, so transferred to CRR account, and from new issue rupees 2 lakh. So by this way entire arrangement has been made for this 2,50,000 requirement for the nominal amount of RPS. Rupees 50,000 by creating a CRR from the general reserve as we discussed in the balance sheet verification, and by making a new equity issue of rupees 2 lakh. So 50,000 plus 2 lakh, total 2,50,000. Redemption premium on RPS, we need rupees 25,000. There is no share premium, security premium available in the balance sheet. So there is no option but to write it off to the profit and loss account. तो इनको प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में एज एन एक्सपेंडिचर राइट ऑफ कर दिया जाएगा बिकॉज कोई शेयर प्रीमियम कोई सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम अवेलेबल नहीं है. सो नो चॉइस बट टू राइट इट ऑफ टू द प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. Let us give the posting impact in the concerned ledger accounts without passing the journal entry. You know, in your examination you are not supposed to pass any journal entries. तो इस बार मैंने आपको जर्नल एंट्रीज नहीं दी है. इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट डायरेक्टली ऑन द बेस ऑफ दिस चार्ट लेट अस गिव द पोस्टिंग इम्पैक्ट इन द कंसर्न लेजर अकाउंट रिलेटेड विद दिस आरपीएस redemption process. Have a look. These are the accounts related with RPS redemption process. Preference share capital account, redemption premium on RPS account, preference share holders account, while the remaining accounts given in the next slide. Now without having the journal entry, how you will give the posting impact? मैं आपको एक सिंपल रूल देता हूं. अपने मन में जर्नल एंट्री बोलेंगे. और साथ में ही साइमल्टेनियसली आपका हाथ पोस्टिंग करना चाहिए। मन में जी बोलेंगे और आपका हाथ काम करेगा पोस्टिंग का। लाइक दिस। फर्स्ट जर्नल एंट्री regarding the call money, bank account debited to preference share capital account credited 50,000. 25,000 shares on which a call of rupees 2 demanded and money has been received because there is no closing balance in the preference share capital account in the balance sheet, as we already saw it and discussed it. Then second journal entry that would have been passed for the resolution of RPS redemption. Now 2,50,000 is the total over here. So second J, preference share capital account debit. So debit side of preference share capital, opposite narration. Redemption premium on RPS account debited 25,000, opposite narration, to preference shareholders account credited 2,75,000, opposite amount and opposite narration. You know the rules of posting, 2,75,000. So this was the posting for the resolution passed by the board of directors. Then third journal entry for the planning. General reserve account debited to CRR account credited 50,000. Over here CRR account credited 50,000. Fourth journal entry, that was for a fresh issue made for the purpose of RPS redemption. Bank account debited 2 lakh to equity share capital account credited 2 lakhs. Then fifth journal entry, we have to write off the redemption premium to profit and loss account. Profit and loss account debited to redemption premium on RPS account credited 25,000, written off. All the provisions have been fulfilled. Now payment can be paid. Preference shareholders account debited to bank account credited. Process over. Payment has been paid. Let us close concern ledger accounts related with this RPS process. 6 ledger accounts that we prepared related with this process of RPS, one by one. Let's close it and simultaneously give the impact in the fund flow statement process. Come on the preference share capital account, opening balance, closing balance, 50,000, having a narration of bank, call money received, sources of fund flow statement. Let us report it as the sources of fund in the fund flow statement. Call on RPS 50,000. Let us verify the concerned ledger accounts once again. After preference share capital account, see redemption premium on RPS account. Account is over, no balancing figure. This 25,000 has been written off to profit and loss account. Apply the two tests. Does it look like a cash transaction? Does it look like an operating transaction? No. It is a non-cash transaction. It is a non-operating transaction. So let us add back it in the current year's adjusted profit and loss account by reporting it on the left hand side, on the plus side, on the debit side. Redemption premium on RPS written off 25,000. Once again the concerned ledger accounts. Third one, preference share holders account. Account is over, no balancing figure. On the debit side, 2,75,000 having a narration of bank. This has been paid to the preference shareholders It indicates the application of fund. So let us report it in the fund flow statement on the application side. Have a look. Second item, redemption of RPS with premium 2,75,000. So we gave the impact on the application side of the fund flow statement. Next, concern ledger account related with RPS process. General reserve account. Opening balance 1 lakh, closing balance 2 lakh. Creation of reserve, close it. Total of debit side 2,50,000, put it on the credit side 2,50,000, and we are getting a balancing figure of rupees 1,50,000. This is the current year's saving transfer from profit and loss appropriation account. Profit and loss appropriation account debit to GR credit. Merely it is a transfer. It's a non-cash item. It's a non-operating item, and that is why should be added back in the current year's profit once again by reporting it on the left hand side plus side of adjusted profit and loss account. Transfer to general reserve 1,50,000. Next, concern ledger account related with RPS process up to GR. Have a look on CRR account. No opening balance. This came from GR and it is there in the form of closing balance 50,000. Account is over. No balancing figure. ये GR में से ट्रांसफर किया है. So GR debited to CRR, credited, doesn't affect the fund flow statement process. Come on the equity share capital account. 8 lakh opening balance, closing balance 10 lakh, 2 lakh rupees having a narration bank issue, fresh issue. We already discussed it. Bank debited to equity share capital account credited. It indicates the sources of fund. Let us report it in the fund flow statement on the sources side. Second item, issue of equity share capital 2 lakhs. So we closed 6 ledger accounts related with RPS process. Our redemption preference share capital, redemption premium on RPS, then preference shareholders account, then GR account, then CRR account, and in the last equity share capital account. And we gave the impact in the FFS process. So this was for RPS redemption with 10% premium. Let us read next point of additional information. Point number 2. A new point has been given. Particulars of leasehold property. 2 buildings have been given. Namely, number 1, date of commencing 1st January 2014 and the lease period 20 years. Building number 2, date of commencing 1st July 2017, मतलब ये इस साल में ली गई है 17-18 में, and the lease period is 10 years. I hope आपको ये पता होगा कि what is the meaning of leasehold property. So company is using 2 leasehold property. One which was taken in the 2014, 1st January 2014, and the second taken in the current year, 1st July 2017. First is having a lease period of 20 years. Second is having a lease period of 10 years. Now we need the purchase price that has been paid for this building number 2, क्योंकि इसको इस साल में लिया गया है, तो उनके लिए कितना पेमेंट दिया है ये हमें चाहिए फ्रॉम फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, क्योंकि वो एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फंड बनेगा. एंड on both this building, how much depreciation would have been provided by the company? ये भी हमें गिनना है, because depreciation as a non-cash item, we have to add back it in our adjusted profit and loss account. So one, as I told you, purchase price payment that has been paid for this second leasehold property, ये एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फंड के रूप में फंड फ्लो में जाएगा। फिर दोनों बिल्डिंग पर कितना डेप्रिसिएशन कंपनी ने गिना है, यह भी हमें तय करना है। एज ए नॉन कैश एक्सपेंडिचर डेप्रिसिएशन को हमें एडजस्टेड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में एड बैक करना है। सो ए डिटेल्ड कैलकुलेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड टू फाइंड आउट दिस two items in the context of this leasehold property. Let's start the detailed calculation. Have a total focus how we are going to start this calculation. It is a lengthy calculation, but even though we have to digest it properly. Have a look. Working note number 2. Leasehold property. To leasehold property has been given in that additional information point number 2. Building number 1, commencement date given in that additional information, 1st January 2014, and the lease period 20 years. So within this life period of 20 years, company will have to use this leasehold property. So what would be the rate of depreciation that the company would have to apply every year, ताकि 20 साल के बाद इनकी जो भी प्राइस है वो बैलेंस शीट में नील हो जाए। Lease period is 20 years. It means under the straight line method, every year rate of depreciation would be 5%. 20 years into 5, 100. It means after 20 years, the entire price that was paid to acquire this building number 1, whatever it was, 20 साल के बाद ये बैलेंस शीट में से निकल जाएगी। हर साल आप 5% depreciation write off करें तो। So rate of depreciation would be 5% every year on this building number 1, which was commenced, acquired on 1st January 2014, and the lease period was 20 years. In the balance sheet, on 31st March 2017, balance of building number 1 was 67,000. जो 67,000 की बैलेंस आपको दी गई है 31 मार्च 17 के कॉलम में, वो सिर्फ बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 को रिप्रेजेंट करती है। क्यों? बिकॉज बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 हैज बीन परचेस्ड, acquired in the current year and date is 1st July 2017. तो ये तो 17-18 में आएगा। The year ends on 31st March 18. तो दूसरा बिल्डिंग इस साल में एक्वायर किया है, तो 67,000 की जो बैलेंस 31 मार्च 17 के कॉलम में दी गई है एसेट साइड, ये सिर्फ बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 को ही रिप्रेजेंट करती है। बी वेरी क्लियर इन योर माइंड। नाउ वी नीड टू फाइंड आउट द ओरिजिनल परचेज प्राइस ऑफ बिल्डिंग नंबर 1। क्यों हमें इनकी ओरिजिनल परचेज प्राइस चाहिए? क्योंकि जो ये रेट ऑफ डेप्रिसिएशन 5% है, under the straight line method, you know it very well. Under straight line method, depreciation is always calculated on its original purchase price. एक बार आप ये तय कर लेते हो डेप्रिसिएशन तो हर साल वो सेम ही रहता है अंडर द स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड, मगर इनको उनकी ओरिजिनल परचेज प्राइस पर गिना जाता है अंडर द स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड। एंड वी डोंट हैव द ओरिजिनल परचेज प्राइस ऑफ बिल्डिंग नंबर 1, क्योंकि ये तो 1/1/2014 को लिया गया था। So first of all, we need to find out the purchase price of building number 1. Then only afterwards we can calculate the depreciation on this building number 1. So let us decide the purchase price of building number 1. Assume that purchase price of building number 1 on 1st January 2014 was 100 rupees. Apply the rate of depreciation 5%. As I told you, under the straight line method, depreciation is always calculated on its original cost, and once you calculate it, every year the amount of depreciation remains the same. In all the 20 years, the amount of depreciation will remain the same. So 5% on its original purchase price, which we assumed 100. तो हर साल ये कितना होगा? 5% of 100 rupees, 5 rupees. कितने पीरियड तक गिनना है? From 1/1/2014 to 31st March 2017, जो पास्ट बन चुका है. We are preparing this fund flow statement for 2018, the year 17-18, which ends on 31st March 18. So how much period has already gone by? 1/1/2014, तो इनके बनेंगे 3 months, January 14, February 14, March 14, 3 months. Then 14-15 first year, 15-16 second year, 16-17 third year. So total 3 years and 3 months have already gone by, became the past. तो ये पास्ट पीरियड के लिए कितना डेप्रिसिएशन ऑलरेडी राइट हो चुका है? 3 years and 3 months as we calculated. Every year 5% on 100 means 5 rupees. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 for 3 years. And 3 months of this 1st January 2014 to 31st March 2014, 3 months. पूरे साल का 5 rupees है, तो 3 महीने का होगा 1 rupees and 25 paisa. So total, how much has been provided for 3 years and 3 months? 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1 rupees and 25 paisa. That gives total depreciation already provided for the last 3 years and 3 months. 16 rupees and 25 paisa. If you deduct it from its original cost of rupees 100, that gives written down value as on 31st March for building number 1, 83 rupees and 75 paisa. Now we are having a written down value of building number 1 as on 31st March 2017, क्योंकि हमारे पास 31st March 17 की इनकी written down value बैलेंस शीट में अवेलेबल है, इसलिए हमने ये स्टेप्स लिए हैं एज्यूम करके. Put the equation. If written down value as on 31st March 2017, as per our this assumption and calculation, is 83 rupees and 75 paisa, then its original purchase price as per our assumption was 100. As on 31st March 2017, the written down value of building number 1 given in the balance sheet in the column of 31st March 2017 is 67,000. What would be its original purchase price? क्योंकि 31st March 17 के बैलेंस शीट के कॉलम में जो वैल्यू 67,000 है, वो सिर्फ बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 को ही रिप्रेजेंट करती है, क्योंकि बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 तो इस साल में लिया गया है ऑन 1st जुलाई 2017, जो इस साल में आ रही है उनकी डेट. So this 67,000 represents only building number 1 balance written down value. Apply the equation and you are getting rupees 80,000 cost or purchase price of building number 1 on 1st January 2014. If you are having any doubt about your calculation assumption, you may go for a cross verification also, it is possible. Let me apply the cross verification for your satisfaction for this calculation of rupees 80,000 that we got. Have a look. Cross verification. Building number 1 purchased on 1st January 2014. As per our calculation, we got 80,000 purchase price. less depreciation at the rate of 5%. Life was 20 years. So under straight line method, every year 5% you have to write off in the form of depreciation. For a period of 3 years and 3 months, as we calculated earlier, 1/1/2014 to 31st March 2017. 5% of 80,000. Over here, I have mentioned that period also. So 5% of 80,000. Every year it would be 4,000. K means 1,000. 5% of 80,000, 4,000. So 4,000 for second year, 4,000 for third year and for 3 months. पूरे साल का 4,000 है तो 3 months का रहेगा 1,000. So 3 years and 3 months at the rate of 5%. 4,000 plus 4,000 plus 4,000 for the 3 years and 1,000 for 3 months. That gives the total depreciation for the period of 3 years and 3 months, that is the past period, 13,000. Purchase price minus total depreciation written off so far, that gives written down value as on 31st March 2017, 67,000. Given in the balance sheet also in the column of 31st March 2017 on the asset side for leasehold property. तो ये टैली हो रहा है, वेरीफाई हो रहा है. 67,000 की रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू मिली एज ऑन 31st मार्च 17 को एज पर दिस कैलकुलेशन 80,000 की परचेज प्राइस पर, और ये वेरीफाई हो रहा है 67,000 क्योंकि बैलेंस शीट में भी ये 67,000 की वैल्यू हमें मिल रही है लीज होल्ड प्रॉपर्टी के लिए 31st मार्च 17 को. सो अवर कैलकुलेशन, अवर एजम्पशन to decide the original purchase price of building number 1 was a correct one. ये हमने क्रॉस वेरीफाई करके देख लिया. Now current year's depreciation. Depreciation for 2017-18, 5% on 80,000. As I told you, on the straight line method, it remains same every year. 4,000. 5% of 80,000, 4,000. So this was depreciation on building number 1 for the current year. ये आपको याद रखना है क्योंकि इनको हमें आगे दोबारा यूज करना है. जब फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट की प्रोसेस में जाएंगे तो एज ए नॉन कैश आइटम दिस डेप्रिसिएशन वी विल हैव टू ऐड बैक इन द एडजस्टेड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, क्योंकि ये इस साल का डेप्रिसिएशन हमने तय किया है 4,000. If you deduct this 4,000 depreciation of the current year from 67,000, the written down value as on 31st March given in the balance sheet, you will get a new written down value of building number 1 as on 31st March 2018, which is 63,000. इनको भी यूज करना है हमें आगे. On 31st March 2018, this is the written down value of building number 1. तो ऑब्वियसली ये जो क्लोजिंग बैलेंस दी गई है बैलेंस शीट में, टोटल क्लोजिंग बैलेंस ऑफ लीज होल्ड प्रॉपर्टी एज ऑन 31st March 18 गिवन इन द बैलेंस शीट इज 1 लाख. बैलेंस शीट में ये 18 का फिगर है 1 लाख. अब इसमें तो दोनों बिल्डिंग आ चुके हैं 1 and 2, क्योंकि इस साल में आपने एक दूसरा बिल्डिंग भी लिया है. सो इन द क्लोजिंग बैलेंस ऑफ ₹1 लाख, the value, the written down value of building number 1 and 2 both are included. Now we are having a written down value of building number 1 separately available. So deduct it, less value of building number 1 as on dated 31st March 2018 as per our above calculation that we got. Deduct it from the total of ₹1 lakh. 1 lakh minus 63,000, that gives the written down value of building number 2 as on 31st March 2018, 37,000, which has been included in this balance of ₹1 lakh. तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि 1 लाख रुपीस की जो क्लोजिंग बैलेंस दी गई है इन द बैलेंस शीट फॉर लीज और प्रॉपर्टी, इसमें ये दो बिल्डिंग बने हुए हैं, दो रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू. बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 की 63,000, बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 की 37,000 और दोनों का टोटल बनता है 1 लाख रुपीज दैट इज बीन गिवन इन द बैलेंस शीट एज ए क्लोजिंग बैलेंस ऑफ द करंट ईयर फॉर लीजहोल्ड प्रॉपर्टी. So we got written down value of building number 2 on 31st March 18 but we need its purchase price क्योंकि इनको इस साल में लिया गया है और ये परचेज प्राइस जो भी कंपनी ने दी है वो हमारे लिए एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फंड बनेगी फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट के नजरिए से क्योंकि इनको इस साल में लिया गया है. दिस 37,000 इज द रिटन डाउन वैल्यू ऑफ द करंट ईयर मतलब डेप्रिसिएशन लिखने के बाद की ये 37,000 बैलेंस है बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 की इस साल की. हमें इनका डेप्रिसिएशन भी चाहिए इस साल का और हमें इनकी परचेज प्राइस भी चाहिए इस साल की. दोनों हमें चाहिए हमारी एफएफएस प्रोसेस के लिए. सो लेट अस फाइंड इट आउट. वी नीड परचेज प्राइस ऑफ बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 फॉर एफएफएस and depreciation of the current year of building number 2 for adjusted profit and loss account. Date of commencing of building number 2 is 1st July 2017 given in that point of additional information number 2 and life is 10 years. 10 साल में यूज कर लेना है. 10 साल के बाद इनकी पूरी की पूरी वैल्यू जो आपने दी है वो बैलेंस शीट में से निकल जाएगी. It means rate of depreciation would be 10% every year. 10% into 10 years तो 10 साल के बाद ये उनकी पूरी वैल्यू आप राइट ऑफ कर दोगे डेप्रिसिएशन के रूप में से तो 10 साल के बाद ये बैलेंस शीट में से निकल जाएगी. So we decided the rate of depreciation on the second building is 10%. Now you know under the straight line method depreciation is always calculated on its ओरिजिनल परचेज प्राइस. तो हमें ओरिजिनल परचेज प्राइस तय करनी पड़ेगी बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 की ये डेप्रिसिएशन गिनने के लिए और जो भी परचेज प्राइस दी है वो हमें फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट में भी दिखानी है एप्लीकेशन साइड. सो हाउ टू डिसाइड इट्स परचेज प्राइस. वहां एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन में तो सेपरेट नहीं दी है. लेट अस एज्यूम हैव ए लुक. Assume that purchase price of building number 2 on 1st July 2017 was 100 rupees. ये हमने assume किया. इसे ही साल में ली है. Depreciation at the rate of 10%. 10% just we decided in our previous slide discussion. From 1st July 2017 क्योंकि इस तारीख को ये लिया है बिल्डिंग नंबर 2. 1st July 2017 to 31st March 18 9 months. इस साल में ये बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 का 9 months के लिए यूज किया गया है. 9 month depreciation. Purchase price as per our assumption 100. Rate of depreciation 10%. 9 month 9 divided by 12. That gives 7 rupees and 50 paisa depreciation for a period of 9 months in the current year. That gives written down value of building number 2 as on 31st March 18 92 rupees and 50 paisa. Let us apply the equation जो हमने बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 के लिए भी अप्लाई किया था. Written down value of building number 2 on 31st March 18 as per our last step calculation 92 rupees and 50 paisa. Then its original purchase price 100. Written down value of building number 2 as on 31st March 37,000. What should be its original cost? आप सोचेंगे ये 37,000 कहां से आए. Recall the previous slide ये हमने वहां तय किया था. Let me show it you once again. मैं आपको पिछली साइड दोबारा दिखा रहा हूं. Have a look. ये डिस्कशन जब हमने करी और ये 63,000 की रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 की तय करी जो बैलेंस शीट में भी मिल रही है लास्ट ईयर के 17 के कॉलम में. देन आफ्टरवर्ड्स द बैलेंस ऑफ करंट ईयर 1 लाख जो बैलेंस शीट में 18 के कॉलम में है लीज होल्ड प्रॉपर्टी के, उनमें से हमने 63,000 डिडक्ट की है बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 की रिटन डाउन वैल्यू, तब जाके हमें मिली थी रिटन डाउन वैल्यू ऑफ बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 एज ऑन 31 मार्च 18 37,000। तो यहां हमें ये मिल चुकी है। एंड नाउ we are applying this 37,000 over here in this calculation. So once again I am repeating this equation. If written down value on 31st March 18 is 92 rupees and 50 paisa, then its original purchase price 100. Written down value of building number 2 on 31st March 18 37,000. What should be its original cost? That gives rupees 40,000 purchase price of building number 2 as on 1st July 2017, जो इस साल में लिया है। और हमारे लिए ये बनेगा एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फंड, जाएगा फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट में। Is it possible to cross verify our calculation like we did for the previous calculation for building number 1? Yes, it is possible. Let us do it once again. Cross verification for our calculation. Purchase price of building number 1, as we just decided over here, 40,000. Less depreciation at the rate of 10% under straight line method. You know it. Original purchase price पर ही ये गिना जाता है और हर साल depreciation की amount सेम रहती है। 10% of 40,000 for a period of 9 months. 1st July 2017 to 31st March 2018. 9 months. So depreciation for a period of 9 months at the rate of 10% on its original purchase price 40,000 rupees 3,000. Depreciation on building number 2 for the current year. If you deduct this 3,000 from the 40,000 which was the purchase price इस साल में ही लिया है, that gives the written down value as on 31st March 2018 of building number 2 37,000. तो ये टैली हो रहा है। ये 37,000 की रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू आपको मिली एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर, जो हमने पहले ही पिछला जो कैलकुलेशन किया था बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 का, और वहीं हमने इनकी रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू तय करी थी। रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू ऑफ बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 एज ऑन 31st March 2018 37,000. So क्रॉस वेरिफिकेशन किया हमने 37,000, we got it confirm। जो 37,000 का हमने इस इक्वेशन में भी यूज किया था, on the base of which we got the original purchase price of building number 2 40,000. Then we applied the rate of depreciation and we find out the depreciation on this building number 2 for the current year, that is 3,000. And then once again we confirm the written down value of building number 2 after providing depreciation. So at the end of the current year it is 37,000. तो दो बिल्डिंग की हमें रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू मिली। बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 की 37,000, इज इट 37,000, और बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 की हमने पहले ही तय करी थी पिछले कैलकुलेशन में। हैव ए लुक ओवर हियर, 63,000 रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू ऑफ बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 एज ऑन 31st March 2018. So 63 and 37 दोनों का टोटल करेंगे तो 1 लाख रुपीस would be the closing balance of this leasehold property, जो आपको बैलेंस शीट में भी मिल रही है क्लोजिंग बैलेंस के रूप में। टोटल 1 लाख। 37,000 belongs to written down value of building number 2 and 63,000 belongs to written down value ऑफ बिल्डिंग नंबर 1। दोनों का टोटल करेंगे तो 1 लाख रुपीस क्लोजिंग बैलेंस ऑफ लीजहोल्ड प्रॉपर्टी, जिनमें दो बिल्डिंग की बैलेंसेस इंक्लूसिव है। So we got the purchase price of building number 2 40,000. We got the depreciation of building number 1 and 2 also. तो ये दो अमाउंट तय करने के लिए हमने इतना बड़ा कैलकुलेशंस दिया। And now we got it. See, total depreciation Building number 1 4,000, building number 2 3,000, total 7,000. Profit and loss account debited 2. Leasehold property account credited 7,000. ये हुआ होगा उनका posting and the purchase price of building number 2 40,000 जो जाएगा FFS में. तो ये दो बातें तय करने के लिए हमने ये पूरा डिटेल कैलकुलेशन लिया है. उनकी जेई बनेगी परचेज के लिए. नंबर 1 लीज होल्ड प्रॉपर्टी अकाउंट डेबिटेड 40,000 टू बैंक अकाउंट क्रेडिटेड 40,000 परचेजेस क्योंकि इनको इस साल में परचेज किया है. सेकंड बिल्डिंग 1st July 2017. So for purchases leasehold property debit to bank credit. Now for depreciation, profit and loss account debited 7,000 to leasehold property account credited 7,000. For the depreciation, let us give the posting in the concerned ledger accounts for purchases as well as for depreciation on the base of this detailed calculation. Have a look. Leasehold property. Opening balance 67,000. मैंने आपको पहले ही एक्सप्लेन किया कि ये बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 को ही रिप्रेजेंट करती है क्योंकि बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 तो कंपनी ने इस साल में लिया है. So this 67,000 represents only building number 1. Second building has been purchased in the current year. JE leasehold property account debited 40,000 to bank account credited purchase of building number 2. Then depreciation as per our calculation total 7,000, 3,000 and 4,000 as per our calculation. Profit and loss account debited 2. Leasehold property account credited 7,000. Closing balance has been given in the balance sheet 1 lakh rupees. तो ये closing balance में जैसे मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया उस calculation में. Now this closing balance represents the two building. Building number 1 जिसकी written down value 63,000 है, हमने डिटेल कैलकुलेशन में देखा, और बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 जिसकी रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू है 37,000. दोनों का टोटल बनता है 1 लाख इन द फॉर्म ऑफ क्लोजिंग बैलेंस. ये बिल्डिंग नंबर 2 इस साल में लिया 40,000 परचेज प्राइस. इन पर इनका डेप्रिसिएशन इस साल का 3,000 हमने गिना एंड दैट इज व्हाई 40,000 माइनस 3,000 इनकी रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू है 37,000 एंड बिल्डिंग नंबर 1 की है 63,000 as per our calculation. The total of these two becomes 1 lakh in the form of closing balance of leasehold property at the end of the year. Close the account 1,07,000, 1,07,000. No balancing figure. Fund flow impact. Title came bank. Purchase of building number 2. As I told you earlier, application of fund. Over here title came profit and loss account. Depreciation. Always a non-cash item. And being a non-cash item should be added back in the current year's profit by reporting it in the adjusted profit and loss account on the left hand side. Let us do it. First of all, fund flow statement, application of fund, purchases of leasehold property number 2 40,000. Then depreciation, adjusted profit and loss account 7,000. Depreciation on leasehold property 7,000. So this was the effect, one in fund flow statement for the purchases of second leasehold building and another for the depreciation in the adjusted profit and loss account. It was a detailed calculation, lengthy calculation that we did for this point. Approximately we spent 27 minutes for this detailed calculation. So be clear in your mind about this leasehold property point. I hope it would be very clear in your mind. Let us go for the reading of additional information once again for the remaining points of the question. Third point, we already discussed it. Balance of creditors on 31st March 2018 includes rupees 20,000 of unpaid dividend. इनको हमने bifurcate कर दिया. 20,000 we deducted from the closing balance of creditors for the current year, and we reported only 2,40,000 as a balance of creditors for the current year in the working capital schedule. ये 20,000 को आगे हम जब हम प्रपोज डिविडेंड की डिस्कशन करेंगे तो वहां इनकी इम्पैक्ट के बारे में सोचेंगे. ये पिछले साल के प्रपोज डिविडेंड से ही जुड़ा होना है, क्योंकि इस साल का प्रपोज डिविडेंड तो अगले साल ही चुकाया जा सकता है. So at the time of discussion of proposed dividend, I will explain the effect of this rupees 20,000 unpaid dividend related with last year's proposed dividend. Just wait. Fourth point. Fixed assets having book value of rupees 2 lakh was sold for rupees 1,60,000. And then afterwards depreciation on fixed assets were calculated at rupees 50,000. This is the amount of depreciation that has been provided on all the fixed assets. Let us consider this one. Fixed assets having book value of rupees 2 lakh was sold for rupees 1,60,000. It means loss incurred of rupees 40,000. There is no need of any working note. It is a simple calculation. Let us give the posting directly in the concerned ledger accounts. Have a look. Fixed assets account. Opening balance 8 lakhs. Closing balance 7 lakh. Transaction of this selling. Bank account debited 1,60,000. Loss 40,000. Profit and loss account debited 40,000. To fixed assets account credited 2 lakhs. Opposite narration, opposite amount. So bank debit, profit and loss account debit, to fixed assets account credit 2 lakhs. Then the depreciation of the current year on fixed assets. See the word on fixed assets was calculated. तो ये सभी fixed assets पर इस साल का depreciation है. Profit and loss account debited to fixed assets account credited 50,000. Close the account. Total of credit side looks bigger, 9,50,000. Put it on the debit side, 9,50,000. That gives a balancing figure on the debit side. Apply the common accounting knowledge. It must be the purchases made during the year. Fixed assets account debited to bank account credited. Fund flow impact. Title came bank. Over here credit side indicates selling. Source of fund flow statement 1,60,000. Over here also debit side title came bank, indicates purchases. Application of fund 1,50,000. So one as a source, another as an application, two entries in the fund flow. On the credit side, two items having a narration of profit and loss. One is loss 40,000. It's a non-cash item. It's a non-operating item. So we will add back it, adjusted profit and loss account, left hand side plus side. Depreciation, number of times we already discussed it, as a non-cash item will be added back in the current year's profit by reporting it on the left hand side plus side, debit side. So two effects in adjusted profit and loss account. Two in fund flow statement, two in adjusted profit and loss account. Let us do it. Application of fund. Purchases of fixed assets 1,50,000. On the sources side, sale of fixed assets rupees 1,60,000. Adjusted profit and loss account, loss and depreciation. Have a look. Loss on sale of fixed assets 40,000, depreciation on fixed assets 50,000. Once again, additional information for the remaining points of the question. Point number 5. During the year, debentures were issued at 10% discount. See, over here, amount of issue has not been given. Debentures were issued at 10% discount. So let us verify the balance sheet for the item of debentures and find out the clue, if any. See, 12% debentures on the liability side. Opening balance nil, closing balance 2 lakh. मतलब ये हुआ कि ये पूरा का पूरा इश्यू इस साल में किया गया है. An issue of debenture has been made for rupees 2 lakh with 10% discount. With 10% discount. Let us give the direct posting impact in the concerned ledger account of debenture and debenture discount. Journal entry that would have been passed. Bank account debited 1,80,000. Debenture discount account debited 20,000. 10% of issue amount, which is 2 lakh. So 10% of 2 lakhs would be 20,000. So bank debit 180, इतनी amount मिली है due to issue. Debenture discount account debited 20,000. To debentures account credited rupees 2 lakh. Account is over. 2 lakhs, closing balance 2 lakhs. Debenture discount account debited. Let us debit it over there in the debenture discount account. Debenture discount account debit rupees 20,000. Let us close the account. Over here, total of debit side looks bigger, 20,000. Put it on the credit side, 20,000. Closing balance has been given in the balance sheet 10,000. So you are getting a balancing figure of rupees 10,000 on the credit side. What does it mean? ये क्या हो सकता है? ये डिस्काउंट तो दिया था 20,000 का, मगर क्लोजिंग बैलेंस के रूप में तो आपके पास सिर्फ 10,000 ही दिख रहा है. It means in the current year itself, by applying the concept of amortization, company has already written off rupees 10,000 to profit and loss account. This one is not a real asset. It is a deferred revenue expenditure, fictitious assets. तो कंपनी ऐसी fictitious assets को, deferred revenue expenditure को amortization concept apply करके gradually हर साल write off करती रहती है. And exactly it has been done over here for this 10,000. Fund flow impact. Title came profit and loss. It's a non-cash item. It's a non-operating item. And that is why should be added back in the adjusted profit and loss account on the left hand side. While the debentures account, have a look. Title came bank on the credit side. 1,80,000 indicates sources of fund flow statement. So one in fund flow statement, one in adjusted profit and loss account. Have a look on the sources side. Issue of debentures 1,80,000 and adjusted profit and loss account. Add back the debenture discount that has been written off. Debenture discount written off 10,000. Once again, additional information. Last point, point number 7. Rupees 70,000 have been paid as tax for the last year. It's a common point. Almost it was there in all the previous question. 70,000 has been paid as tax for the last year. Let us give the posting in the concerned ledger account of income tax provision. Have a look. Opening balance 40,000, closing balance 60,000, 70,000 have been paid tax for the last year. इनकम टैक्स प्रोविजन अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू बैंक अकाउंट क्रेडिटेड. आपने प्रोविजन किया था 40,000 का, मगर टैक्स देखिए मिसमैच हो गया. 70,000 हैज बीन पेड. टैक्स प्रोविजन डेबिट टू बैंक अकाउंट क्रेडिट. Close the account. Debit side looks bigger, 130. Put it on the credit side. That gives a balancing figure of rupees 90,000. On the credit side, it is the current year's provision profit and loss account debit to income tax provision account credit 90,000. 90 में से 60 क्लोजिंग बैलेंस के रूप में रहे और बाकी के 30 ये जो मिसमैच रहा 40 वर्सेस 70,000 का, इसमें एडजस्ट हो गए. फंड फ्लो इम्पैक्ट, यू नो इट वेरी वेल. बैंक application of fund 70,000, current year's provision 90,000 as a non-cash item will be added back on the left hand side of adjusted profit and loss account. FFS first, payment of tax. Income tax paid 70,000. Then adjusted profit and loss account, current year's income tax provision. Provision for taxation 90,000. Once again, let us verify the additional information for any remaining point. Nothing is there. All the points completed, barring this unpaid amount dividend 20,000. But we will check it at the time of proposed dividend calculation. Let us verify the balance sheet, reading of the balance sheet for the remaining items. Come on the asset side first. Goodwill 50,000, 30,000. It means during the current year, company has written off goodwill worth rupees 20,000. It's a non-cash item. It's a non-operating item, and that is why, being a non-cash item, it should be added back in the current year's profit by reporting it on the left hand side, plus side, debit side, goodwill written off 20,000. Balance sheet once again, come on the asset side. After goodwill, fixed assets over leasehold property over detailed calculation. Investment 2 lakhs versus 2 lakh, no change. So doesn't affect the FFS. Debtors, stock, cash at bank, items of working capital schedule over discount on debentures related with debenture issue already over. Opening balance nil, closing balance 10,000. We already saw it in ledger account of debenture discount. Come on the liability side. Equity share capital over प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल ओवर जनरल रिजर्व ओवर इनका लेजर अकाउंट बनाया था. इट वाज रिलेटेड विथ आरपीएस रिडेम्पशन प्रोसेस. प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट बैलेंस 3 lakh and 2 lakh. Let us verify the adjusted profit and loss account. How we have reported these two balances. Balance of last year 3 lakh, balance of current year 2 lakh 30,000. So balance of last year in the form of opening balance 3 lakh, balance of current year in the form of closing balance over here left hand side plus side 2 lakh 30,000. So by reporting these two balances, we reported the profit or loss whatever it was of the current year in this adjusted profit and loss account. Once again, balance sheet. After profit and loss, CRR already over. It was related with process of RPS redemption. So over 12% debentures over, creditors over, tax provision over. Now proposed dividend, the last item. Let us prepare a journal entry with ledger account, क्योंकि यहाँ हमें वो 20,000 अनपेड डिविडेंड को कंसिडर करना है। जो ये 2,60,000 की क्रेडिटर्स की बैलेंस में समाया हुआ था, हमने उनको निकाल दिया वर्किंग कैपिटल शेड्यूल में। अब ये 20,000 की सेपरेट बैलेंस बनी रहेगी अनपेड डिविडेंड की। जब तक वो पेमेंट नहीं होगा, वो 20,000 अनपेड डिविडेंड के रूप में जो पिछले साल के प्रपोज डिविडेंड से जुड़ा था, वहीं पे बना रहेगा अनपेड डिविडेंड अकाउंट में। So let us prepare a working note for journal entry first. Last year proposed dividend was 1,10,000 and in the current year 1 lakh. Have a look. First G, proposed dividend account debited 1,10,000. This was the proposal of the last year. Would have been paid in the current year. कहे तो भी ना कहे तो भी ये पेमेंट होना है. But over here in additional information, it was said that balance of creditors on 31st March 18 includes rupees 20,000 of unpaid dividend. तो ये पिछले साल से ही जुड़ा हुआ है, क्योंकि इस साल का प्रपोज डिविडेंड तो अगले साल में ही चुकाया जा सकता है। तो इनकी रिलेशनशिप 20,000 की ये पिछले साल के प्रपोज डिविडेंड से ही है। क्वेश्चन की शुरुआत में ही मैंने आपको डिटेल एक्सप्लेनेशन दे दिया है, सो यू नो इट वेरी वेल। Proposed dividend account debited 1,10,000 to bank account credited 90,000 to unpaid dividend account credited 20,000. So out of 1,10,000 proposal of proposed dividend of the last year, 90,000 has been paid in the current year and remaining 20,000 will remain in this account, the name of which is unpaid dividend account. यहीं पे बनी रहेगी जब तक इनका पेमेंट नहीं होता है तब तक। सेकंड जी, फॉर द करंट ईयर्स प्रपोजल ऑफ प्रपोज्ड डिविडेंड, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट डेबिट टू प्रपोज्ड डिविडेंड अकाउंट क्रेडिट करंट ईयर्स proposal. Let us give the posting in the concerned ledger account of proposed dividend. Have a look. Proposed dividend account. Opening balance 1,10,000. Closing balance 1 lakh. Posting of first journal entry. Proposed dividend account debited 1,10,000 to bank account credited 90,000 to unpaid dividend account credited 20,000. Total of these two 1,10,000 you have debited for the proposal of the last year. ये लास्ट ईयर प्रपोजल की थी, इसलिए ये ओपनिंग बैलेंस के रूप में मिला। अब इनका ऐसे डिस्पोजल हुआ। 90,000 has been paid and 20,000 has been transferred to unpaid dividend account. जो कंपनी ने क्रेडिटर्स की बैलेंस में इंक्लूड करके वहां 2060 बैलेंस बताई थी क्रेडिटर्स की बैलेंस शीट में, जब वर्किंग कैपिटल शेड्यूल हमने बनाया तो 2,60,000 में से हमने 20,000 निकाल दिया, क्योंकि वो अनपेड डिविडेंड को रिप्रेजेंट करता है। पोस्टिंग ऑफ सेकंड जर्नल एंट्री, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट डेबिट 1 lakh to proposed dividend account credited 1 lakh. Close the account 2,10,000, 2,10,000, nothing is there. इस साल की ये प्रपोजल क्लोजिंग बैलेंस के रूप में बनी हुई है और इनका पेमेंट अगले साल होगा जब एजीएम में कंसेंट मिलेगी तब। फंड फ्लो इम्पैक्ट, टाइटल केम बैंक 90,000 indicates the payment application of fund. Over here credit side title came profit and loss. It's a non-cash item, it's a non-operating item, so will be added back in the adjusted profit and loss account left hand side. Fund flow statement, payment of dividend, application side proposed dividend paid 90,000, then adjusted profit and loss account, current year's proposal as a non-cash item, as a non-operating item, added back proposed final dividend 1 lakh. Once again balance sheet reading for the remaining items, if any, nothing is there. Last item was proposed dividend. We completed all the items, the remaining items of the balance sheet also. Now we have to close the two remaining accounts only. Close the adjusted profit and loss account. Plus side, left hand side, debit side looks bigger. Total 7,22,000. Put it on the right hand side, minus side, credit side. That gives a balancing figure of rupees 4,22,000. It is the adjusted profit, fund profit received in cash from business operation, which would be the sources of fund for our fund flow statement. Let us report it in the fund flow statement. Come on the sources side. Fund from business operation, operating profit 4,22,000. Total of fund flow 10,12,000. 10,12,000. It gets verified. It gets confirmed. 10,12,000. So this was a question having so many points. RPS redemption. We prepared 6 ledger accounts. Then afterwards, leasehold property, a detailed lengthy calculation that we did to find out the amount of purchase price of building number 2, as well as to decide the depreciation on both the building. And approximately, as I told you, we spent 25 to 27 minutes for that process of leasehold property calculation. Fixed assets account transaction was also there. Provision of tax, every time it was there. Debenture issue came with a debenture discount and concept of amortization. Proposed dividend, though almost it was there in all the previous question, but this time it was having a one new point, that is unpaid dividend, rupees 20,000. We discussed it in detail. So many points came over here in this question, and that is why, today it took approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes, if I am not wrong in my calculation. 1 hour and 30 minutes that it took. I hope all the points would be very clear in your mind, especially the leasehold property, RPS, debenture issue with debenture discount, as well as the unpaid dividend, which affects the working capital schedule, as well as the payment of proposed dividend of the last year also. So if necessary, rewatch once again this question number 7, this video lecture, and be clear in your mind, especially about the new points that came for the first time in this topic. It was a long marathon lecture, 1 hour and 30 minutes, or perhaps 1 hour and 35 minutes that we spent for this big question. Thank you for your peaceful listening. Thank you very much.